All right, so today I am joined by Game of Thrones actor Kristian Nairn. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So
Good.
tell me, how excited are you to release your memoir, Beyond the Throne: Epic Journeys, Enduring Friendships, and Surprising Tales, out into the world?
Uh, it's an interesting feeling. I'm very excited, but it's my life. So, it's like I now know how it feels to expose myself to the world again. Um, I've done that before, clearly, but it is. I'm excited to hear what people think.
Mm.
Guys. So now I await your comment. Um, I don't know how I'm going to feel when the comments. Uh, I'm excited to see. You
Good.
know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So you're the first cast member from Game of Thrones to release a book like this, which shares the behind the scenes stories and your incredible experience of being part of the mega hit show.
Mhm.
What inspired you to write this book?
Really, besides my journey in Game of Thrones, which was an unorthodox one, I didn't come to acting from an orthodox point of view. Like I didn't train to be an actor in RADA and or some other school, which is obviously wonderful. Um, but really, there's more than one way to swing a cat in a non-violent cat way. Um, And I want the world to know that. I want the world that there's all sorts of angles to come at your life and make yourself happy. And as long as you're true to yourself and you don't let other people influence you and sort of tell you who you are, try to tell you who to be, um, that's not the recipe for success and happiness. You just got to try and stick to who you are, what you want to do. If my book helps anybody get there a little bit quicker, that'll make me very happy.
For sure. And of course, you also share your personal story by talking about being raised by a single mother during the Troubles in Ireland, coming of age as a gay man. What do you ultimately hope readers take away from Beyond the Throne?
Yeah, man. There's some pretty dark stuff in the book, and there really is. But I don't want people to think I wrote it as like a sob story because that's genuinely not how I feel about it.
Mhm.
Um, I don't feel like sorry about my life, and I don't feel I'm sorry that I lived that life. I loved even all the trepidations and the horrible shit that happened is important to who I've become. Um, but yeah, it's. So could you I'm waffling here about the question. Could you just focus on the question again for me?
What do you ultimately hope audiences or readers take away
Yeah,
from the book?
yeah, and it's just there's more than one way to achieve your dreams,
Mhm.
you know, and as long as you hold on to them and be true to yourself, that's what I would like people to take away from it.
All right, perfect. Well, what was
Mhm.
something you learned about yourself throughout the writing process?
Really, it's how much I enjoy expressing myself, and I do like to share.
Yeah.
From someone who has been historically quite a private person and continue to be, um, I do enjoy a good share, and it has been therapeutic in that sense.
Hmm.
Um, and that has been an epiphany. I didn't realize how much I like to sort of, um, I guess, perform in a way. Um, I just putting myself out there. I quite like it, and that's been an epiphany for me. I did not know that about myself.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, was there a section in the book that was your absolute favorite to write about?
Um, well, all the stuff that digs back into the past, there's an amazing process that when you're trying to remember stuff, it's almost like a chain reaction that will trigger a memory.
Yeah. Mhm.
Stuff that I haven't thought about in years and I've completely forgotten about. And that's been a lot of fun. Um, just remembering things that I had forgotten.
Yeah,
Um,
reliving
wh-
those
while I
moments.
was while I was in the labyrinth of my head. Um, yeah, that's been good.
Nice. Well, playing Hodor on Game of Thrones, that was your first acting job. What initially
Yes.
made you want to audition for the role?
Well, it didn't happen that way. I auditioned for a part in Hot Fuzz, which is a
Okay.
Simon Pegg movie, and it was the same casting director. I did a horrific audition for that, and I didn't get the part. I forgot about it. I wasn't an actor. I didn't really care, honestly. Um, and then 5 years later, the call came in and said, "We'd like to see you for this part." They kind of gave me a brief description, and it was like one word, uh, No, not really. It's in the book. It tells you this sort of battle I had with myself.
Yeah.
But my God, I'm glad I did it. You know, I nearly didn't do it, but
Hmm.
I'm so glad that it did. My
Yeah.
life changed in so many ways, so many positive ways.
Definitely. How would you
Yeah.
say Hodor was the perfect role for you, and what did you enjoy the most about playing this character?
There's a number of things that made Hodor perfect for me. Obviously, there's the physicality of it all.
Hmm.
But a lot of people don't know though. I had hearing issues when I was a kid,
Okay.
and I was training to be a sign language interpreter before this all happened.
Okay.
Um, so I kind of learned how to react and read people, not with words, because
Hmm.
I never could hear the teacher talking in school, that kind of thing, and I always used to have to lip read or sort of try and glean what they were saying. And
Yeah.
a non-verbal character like Hodor, that really helped,
Hmm.
you know, because I'm the type of person that I only know this because everyone tells me that you know what mood I'm in,
Hmm.
usually by probably by 100 meters away. Uh, so I can't really hide who I can't really hide that. So yeah,
Hmm. Well, were you surprised by how Hodor became one of the most beloved and pivotal characters on the show?
David and Dan said he would be the showrunners while I was taking the part, and I at this stage knew very little about him, just the one word thing.
Mm.
And I remember saying, "Why? Like, how?" Um, And I think they were more hopeful. They were probably hoping, well, hopefully you're going to do something that's
Yeah.
going to be good. Looking back on that, actually, that conversation. But and they gave me quite a lot of free reign with him as well, and I'm really glad they did.
Hmm.
I'm happy with what I did with Hodor. I really am. At first, I had a few people commenting like he should have been more over the top. He could have been more like more stupid, really. But I never wanted him to be that way. And I wanted it to be more kind of sad in a
Yeah.
way, rather than a laughing stock. But there were
Hmm.
some comedy moments as well. So,
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Well, can you talk a little bit about how Beyond the Throne resonates with people who have felt like outsiders in their lives?
um, that is who it's targeted at. And also maybe the people who have made them feel that way.
Hmm.
I wouldn't mind if they read the books, if that maybe has an awakening in there. I would like that too. Um, but yeah, it's people who are disenfranchised, people who are feeling a little lost, especially in the world at the minute. Um, it's just to try and encourage people to really focus in on who they are
Hmm.
and try to live in an authentic way. Because that's the only way to be happy, in my opinion. Anytime I've sort of not been true to myself, bad things have happened,
Yeah.
and you just know you're off track. You're like a train, you're like a locomotive on the wrong track.
Hmm.
So whatever you can do to be authentic, that's been very important to me.
Definitely. Now, you came out as gay when you were 14, is that correct?
Yeah.
So, here in America, growing up gay, of course, has its challenges, but what was it like for you growing up gay in Ireland?
Well, back then, Ireland wouldn't have been as accepting as it would be today. I
Okay.
don't think. Of course, I think we were one of the first, if not the first countries to have gay marriage
Hmm.
ratified by public vote, which I was really proud of.
Yeah.
But back in the day when I was coming out, I could never have imagined that. Could never have imagined that. People of Northern Ireland are an interesting people, and I love them. I love them dearly, and I'm proud to be from Northern Ireland. And we deal with our stresses, and we deal with humor and sarcasm.
Gotcha.
Um, no, it's a good. I don't know if it's a healthy way. It's just the way it is.
Hmm.
But that can sometimes translate into a lot of like just basically taking the piss out of people all the time.
Yeah.
And when you're a vulnerable teenager and maybe you're growing up trans or anything that's slightly different, that humor can be mistaken.
Hmm.
And if you're feeling vulnerable, it's not going to do you any favors. And that's the only thing. When I was growing up, I got a lot of stick and a lot of mean comments, etc.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't happen as much these days. I don't think it does.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of more reserved for comment sections.
Hmm.
Now, I think they'll get their rocks off in the comment sections. So hopefully being a little bit kinder in everyday life
Yeah.
would be
Hope so.
nice.
Definitely. Well, you're
Yeah.
also known for your vibrant drag persona of Revlon. How did she come to be, and do you still perform in drag?
Vibrant. I don't know if I would call her vibrant. I think
I
she's
think
a
she's vibrant.
Vibrant in a sort of Cruella de Vil sort of way. Uh, but yeah, Revlon was that was probably the biggest epiphany of my life. Revlon was the one who pushed me out the door really into performing.
Hmm.
I'll never forget the first night I performed as Revlon, and I got ready in like a grubby office in the Kremlin in Belfast. Like there was trash land everywhere. I was, is this what it's like? Is this showbiz? And I'm like, yeah, it actually is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it really is. But um, I'll never forget the night. There was like a spiral staircase, and I had those goddamn shoes that were made from floor tiles, which were not easy to walk on. So I
Hmm.
was coming down this tiny step, and I got to the door. It was a big, heavy security door, and I just knew. I knew, like in a novel or in a film, that when I opened that door, things were going to change forever.
Yeah.
And I remember for 5 minutes I stood there, and I was so close to walking back up those stairs. You know, 'cause you're really going to expose yourself, not only as a drag artist, but like I was wearing a mini skirt. People had known me from the scene in Belfast for years, knew nothing about this, nothing. So it was a big night. That was a big night for me. If I hadn't have followed through, and that things would be very different today.
Yeah, definitely. So do you
And
still?
that's another thing about the book, actually, because it's these moments you have in your life, and really, as long as it's not a bad thing,
Mhm.
um, just try to say yes. The things, especially the things that make you feel uncomfortable, because everything makes me feel uncomfortable, and it's the only way to push yourself forward.
Definitely. I agree. Do you still prefer
Mhm.
drag?
No,
No.
no, I don't think I need it anymore.
Okay.
It was a when I say I need it, I love drag and I have so much respect for
Mhm.
drag. But for me and my own journey, it was a chrysalis for me, really.
Okay.
But I will say I will do it again in the
Mhm.
future, but it'll be different. Um, Revlon was how she needed to be back then.
Mhm.
It'll be interesting to see what it appears as again.
The
You
evolution
know,
of Revlon. Yes.
yeah, exactly. So, and also I have a little bit more money than I used to have when I was 17 and 18. So, I won't have to make the shoes from floor tiles.
Exactly. Exactly. A new and improved look. Yes, yes. Well,
Oh yeah.
Kristian, what are some future goals you hope to accomplish with your acting career?
Excuse me. Just to continue doing things that interest me, and that's across my whole career. Like I think another thing you might take away from the book is that I didn't really do much planning of my career. Like I definitely didn't sit down with a careers officer and be like, I'm gonna follow this career path.
Mhm.
Um, Maybe I should have, but uh, yeah, it's sorry, I keep losing my track here. It's been
You're fine. You're
really long.
fine.
Um, yeah, that's definitely one of the takeaways.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Well, how can one stay up to date with you the best?
Up to date. I'm pretty active on social media.
Okay.
Um, I'm not a TikTok queen, but I am on there. Uh,
Okay.
and yeah, I do engage in social media,
Okay.
especially probably Instagram at the minute. So
Instagram. Okay. All right. Perfect.
yeah,
Then before we wrap up, are there any other upcoming projects or anything else you'd like to mention or plug at this time?
yeah, I've just done an audio podcast drama thing with John Hamm and Felicia Day and Will Wheaton and like the Hollywood Nerd Pack.
Okay. Love it.
And yeah, I love it too. It's about the progenesis of and the starting of Dungeons and Dragons
Mm.
and all the sort of crime. There was actually a crime; someone went missing around the start. I know it's crazy.
That's
The people who created the actual game. So it's about that,
okay.
and it's really interesting.
All right. Fantastic. Love it.